Messi. Away from 2, 3, 4. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
The Football Drop Podcast.
Hello, welcome to the Football Drop Podcast. Or should I say, the Flat Drop Podcast, because it's fucking early, Ben.
It is proper early today. It's 20 to 7 on a Tuesday morning. I am shattered.
Yeah, me too. This is unprecedented times, really, for us.
It's an FDP first, isn't it?
It is. We normally record on a Monday night, but schedules couldn't align. And then every time I was free, you was busy, and vice versa.
Yes.
So I said, how about 6:30 Tuesday morning? And you went, how about 7:30? And I said, I can't do that.
Honestly, it's ridiculous. I feel like I haven't woken up enough, so my voice isn't like, oh, hey, how's everybody doing? It's like, hello, go away, don't talk to me this morning.
It's quite sexy, actually.
Okay, that's really weird, but fair enough. Never had a man call my voice sexy before.
You haven't had a woman call your voice sexy before. Let's not tell Paul.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's very, very mysterious, very sort of chilled and laid back. Which leads me on to, how are you?
I'm very well. I'm very chilled, and I'm feeling very laid back. How are you?
Good. Yeah, not too bad. Still not 100%, but there's two things that I've been missing over the last sort of week or three. One of those is football, because obviously we had the international break, but that's back, and we'll go on to that. The other thing is you, really. You've been quite unwell, haven't you?
I have. I'm still not there.
I feel like, you're still not there, but I feel like your banter has just been really, really flat. Until the phone call I got yesterday whilst I was walking through the hospital at work just to get from one place to another. And I had this absolute slating, just the abuse that was coming my way. I'll be honest, I felt unnecessary, but it was good to have you back, mate. I think there was one point where you stopped taking the piss out of me for something to then take the piss out of me for my coffee order.
Yes.
And then once you'd finished doing that, you went back to what you were taking the piss out of me before said coffee order. And then it just continued.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, I'm really quite proud of that. I think I even outdid myself more than I've ever done before, quite frankly.
It was a complete slating. I don't know where, it just came out of nowhere. I was quite unprepared. Monday morning, feeling a bit sorry for myself. First day really back at work since being ill.
Yeah.
And
you shouldn't have answered the phone.
No, I shouldn't. It's a lesson learned.
I got a really good sleep on Sunday night. I think that contributed to the good mood.
I know, and then so that's why I said, should we do 6:30? So you're still a bit tired and a bit, rough.
Yeah, I didn't have a coffee either yet. I was trying to make sure I sorted all the sound and video out for today. So,
you're
also
good,
we had a few issues
good.
last week, didn't we, with Richard's episode?
Did we?
Yeah, the audio and the video didn't quite work. So
that really pissed me off.
Shout out to you for hashing it all together and getting something out there for YouTube.
I spent a good hour editing that video. I mean, it shows me as a lesson, but I spent a good hour editing that video, putting it all together, and then I listened back, and there was no audio for me and Richard, so it was just you responding to everybody else, and I was like, do you think anyone will notice?
Yeah, to be fair, I do talk a lot on this podcast, so...
You do talk a lot on this podcast.
People probably wouldn't notice. But I must say, we actually saw each other at the weekend for the first time in 3 weeks, I think it was. 2 weeks? I can't remember.
Yeah.
It was lovely to see you, mate. Got some exciting plans potentially for next year.
Yes, we have, yeah. So we're all good for that, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I won't mention it here, just in case the general listens, which we know she doesn't.
She won't listen. No.
The only one she's ever listened to is the engagement one, because she saw the title of it and knew it was about her.
that sounds like Selge. If I say normally she'll go, was I mentioned? And I'm like, yeah, and she'll go, oh, listen.
Just say her that she's mentioned every week. So she gets us that extra play then every week.
Yeah, she does. She does listen now. To be fair, she's a good girl.
Excellent.
Got well trained.
Good. I'm glad to hear. Did you know that Gav actually went golf on Saturday in that rain?
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to take up golf, aren't you?
I am seriously considering just taking up golf. Yeah, just for like an hour or so a week, maybe. Just knock some balls around. Try and get into the spirit of golf. See if I can master it.
How long are you setting yourself to master golf?
I don't know. It can't be that hard, can it? So if I do it once a week for, I don't know, 6 months.
As long as that, yeah. Okay.
I reckon by then, a young Tiger Woods probably would be, thrown around.
What, for Jack?
Yeah. I reckon that I'll just get lots of stuff. I was decided to start.
I can hear her whacking and running around.
I know, yeah, it's always the way,
Always the way.
With
I
all
closed
the
my door
things.
this time. Stop Bagheera.
Well, yeah, I should have done this elsewhere. But I thought I should not just lay down next to me. But no.
No?
Yes, she is. Yeah, she laid down. It's good.
Fair enough. Should we go on to the news?
Have you got any?
Yeah, Wayne Rooney lost his first league game against Middlesbrough.
Yeah.
So obviously that's a really good appointment so far. Hit the ground running.
That Champions League win might be now 4 years.
Well, I mean, it's still early days, isn't it? But it's not exactly the best start that they wanted.
No, it's not. No. Up against his old teammate, Mikel Carrick. I think he's called.
1-0 win, but Middlesbrough were all over him. All the stats, 60% possession against 40. It was 17 shots against 5 or something.
Yeah, I mean, Middlesbrough are a very, very, very good team at the moment. They're doing big things over there in Middlesbrough.
Yeah, no, they definitely are. It's been quite a quiet week, I think, by all accounts. I haven't seen too much sports news. It's just nice that the Prem's back.
It's nice that the Prem's back. We had England obviously beat Italy, which was a good game actually. Jude Bellingham was outrageous.
I do know what, so was Harry Kane. That finish was sublime.
Yeah. So it's been a bit of a sad week, isn't it? Bobby Charlton passed away.
It has, yeah. That's an England legend. We don't talk about Man United legends much on this show, but yeah, as an England legend, it's a loss for sure. So thoughts and condolences to his friends and family.
Do you remember really seeing much of Charlton? Obviously, he wasn't born when he was playing, but like,
No, I
see
didn't.
any of that?
No, I didn't go to any of the games or anything. No, I wasn't like
no. I meant, like, have you ever seen like reruns? So, like, have you ever seen the '66 World Cup final?
Yes, I think everyone has. I think everyone's seen that one. But yeah, he's one of those players that I don't think you necessarily appreciate how good he was until you watch these reruns back over the years gone by. Same as like the Beckham documentary is a prime example for a comparison. We all knew he was good, but it's only when you watch some of the highlights back you think, wow, that was insane. Like, he was such a class player, and you just don't appreciate it until they're not playing anymore.
And it's also like the way sort of like the technology of football and stuff has evolved. So like the pitches would be shit. Let's be honest, they'd be shit. They'd be wet. They'd be like waterlogged. The grass wouldn't be in the same condition as like when we go to the Emirates and you see the grass. Yeah. It's like carpet. Like it wouldn't have been like that the ball would have been like heavy, especially when it was wet. It would have been like kicking a rock. Their boots weren't like the boots that they've got today. They would have been heavy.
Yeah.
The kits would have been heavy. Like all of that. It was, when you're playing football, all of that is really important. Comfort is so important. Like when you're running around. I know we've not done anything at too great a level, Sunday League at best, but it's all about the comfort. I remember, like, when you're in like Sunday League and you've just joined a new club and they just go, here's a shirt you can have. I'd always pray for the number 14. Always be like, go on, be number 14. But it'd always be like saying shit, like, I don't know, 26. And you'd be like, oh, okay, you put it on, it's like an extra large. So like the last guy who was sort of uber big, he's just there and you're in this kit and you're like, and you just can't play your best football at left back, when you've got this massive kit on.
No, I can imagine. Obviously, that's why you wanted number 14, lethal left back.
Yeah, exactly. So, but in all seriousness, though, like, it did affect your game because you're like, fucking hell, I've brought out the new Predators. I've put these bad boys on, and I've got this T-shirt that doesn't fit, shorts that are too small for me. So actually, I look like a little bit like I'm wearing a dress.
Yeah, I mean, we had the same way. When I played rugby back in the day, like if you had. So obviously we change our numbers every now and then, depending on I might be playing hooker one week, or I might be doing second row the next, or whatever it may be, or prop. Sorry, never hooker, but prop. And obviously we kind of had the shirts as sort of generic sizes. So obviously most of us are sort of the same, but props normally are quite stocky. Second rows are normally quite muscly, then flankers are just kind of whatever size, generally speaking, for youth level. But every now and then I'd be like number 6, number 7, which is great. I had like normal shirts because they were fitted. That's my position at the time. Then we changed our pack and we had like a proper lean forward pack. It's like the 1, 2 and 3 we was all quite tall and quite, at the time quite muscly. And it was just a case of, these shirts are like absolutely massive on us. And like the different boots, if you change your boots up mid-season or something, or when you change your studs because they wear down over time and things, they're all different levels. It really does make such a difference. So yeah, I feel your pain. I never played football as high as you, of course. I never hit those dizzy heights of Sunday League. So.
Nah, who had? But yeah, I mean, going back to the point, it does make it difficult to play football. Bobby Charlton, like the way he struck a ball, and the way he just moved around the pitch and he got past the ball and what he did for an attacking midfielder as well, for the goals that he scored and the games that he played. Unbelievable, really. So yeah, fair play. I mean, I've seen, there's obviously been lots of sort of previous clips of him playing in his playing days and things like that, and yeah, quality. And I think his brother sort of said it all in the at like an award ceremony. I can't remember what it was now. Like he's the greatest footballer that he's ever seen, and he's his brother. And it was quite a touching tribute, I think.
Yeah, so it's a nice sentiment, isn't it? But yeah, it's just, I mean, different eras of football. It's hard to compare. Like people say, like what Ronaldo's better for argument's sake. Was it R9 or is it CR7? You're like, well, it's different eras of football and different types of players.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Charlton can be thrown into the mix there. Like Bobby Charlton, George Best, those sorts of players. They were insane in their days, but the generations are very different.
Yeah, and that goes to the technology, doesn't it, and the style of football. Like,
absolutely.
Bobby Charlton. I don't actually know this, but like people like Bobby Charlton, like we've spoken to a few footballers like Merson, Parler. They would be having beers on a Friday night, and then they'd be playing the next day.
Yeah.
So Bobby Charlton, I would imagine those sort of players like that would have been doing the same thing. Whereas Cristiano Ronaldo, like moves Coke away from him, like as in Coca-Cola, he moved that away from him. It was like, blimey, like he won't even drink that because his body is his fitness is so important. And I think Gary Lineker was saying the other day that he was told not to train upper body because that would make him a worse footballer.
Yeah, it was slow down on it because it's not the footballer's physique.
Yeah, but obviously now. I mean, you've seen like some players like Traore, like an absolute machine.
Who apparently doesn't lift weights. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he also doesn't cover himself in Vaseline or baby
I know,
oil.
he's admitted that now, didn't he? He's finally admitted that. He's like, yeah, we just put it on. I'm like, but why did you lie about it before? Like, we could tell you were literally shining. In the summer, we can literally see you cooking in the heat.
Yeah, pretty much. So I've got a question for you then.
Go on.
In your opinion, out of all of the greats that there has been, where do you put Bobby Charlton, and who do you say sits top of the greatest footballer you've ever seen?
That is a tough question.
And I guess as well with greats, it kind of depends on what you think is great. So it could be somebody, I don't know, like just for example, like you could say Jack Wilshere is the greatest footballer I've ever seen because of the finish at Norwich, because of the way that he did X, Y, Z, and the way he made me feel. But you could also say the greatest is Messi because he's just undisputed and he won everything and he's done this, that, and the other. Like, how would you define your greatest? Who would it be?
Yeah, I think the greatest is, I guess for me personally, it's what they've achieved in the game and what their stats are like and everything combined, I think. But the main things
You are that.
I think I'm more stats than anything else, but you have to appreciate stuff off the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And like away from the stats itself, like their work rates, things like that, and the space they go into. I think Charlton's got to be top 10 for sure, but I don't know where. This would take some time to really go into it and work it out.
Alright, well,
Maybe
top
we can
10
do
now,
that.
dude.
Yeah, maybe we can do that next week.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
so
But
I
who would you
thought
say
so,
is your
yeah.
great? Who's the greatest for you then?
It's got to be Messi, doesn't it? Really, Messi
Yeah.
Ronaldo.
I think I'm slightly different for you. I think than you. I think I would put Charlton as kind of top 5, just purely because of the World Cup win, the era, and the way he could boot a ball.
Yeah, that makes sense.
In those conditions, I think I'd put him top 5 for me. But I would certainly say that I think it goes down to childhood and the way that he made me feel watching him. I was just in absolute awe. Like Championship manager, I'd be managing Inter Milan because they had R9. It just or Madrid or wherever he was. I wanted to play FIFA or Championship manager and have R9. Because what he could do with the ball was just majestic. Like the goals that he'd score. Now, he went off the boil sort of towards the end, and like looking at him now, he's a bit of a shadow of the man that he once was. But he's still a legend and always will be for me.
Yeah, no, I agree with you with R9 for sure. Yeah, he's definitely up there, just as an example. But yeah, it's kind of what your memories are, and the era of football. You know, we say about I think it was, I can't remember when we did it now, like our all-time Premier League 11.
Yes.
But there was a lot of debate with some people about certain players in there. But it's like we even had a lot of debate about certain players because there's different eras that you remember playing with. Like I don't remember the first sort of 7-8 years of the Premier League. I sort of like, I was 8 when it was 2000. That's kind of when I started getting into football more and understanding it, remembering the players, remembering the games and things like that. Whereas obviously you remember it, when it was the old Division 1 and things like that. So,
you prick.
But you remember like the earlier Premier League days, so 3, 4, 5 years prior to what I do, because you was into football younger and things like that.
Yeah, I can sort of recall like 94, I think, 94, 95, and thereon. I definitely remember the 98 double winning Arsenal team, like great team.
Yeah, so I remember seeing it from videos, but I don't remember it happening there and then.
Proper VHS as well, isn't it?
Yeah, just a bit. Christ.
Mate, we proper gone down memory lane here, haven't we?
We have, haven't we? This wasn't even planned. It's like nearly 20 minutes in. This was not planned at all. I'm glad that we're literally like wolfing out and we just don't plan it. We're just kind of like,
exactly, yeah.
So we'll talk about... Should we just go into it, yeah?
Yeah, let's just
Click
hit record
record.
and see where the moment takes us.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Should we move on to the Premier League, though?
Yeah, okay, let's do that, shall we?
Yeah, let's move on. So, actually, before we do, I just want to talk about the predictions of the Premier League, because this has very angered me over the weekend.
very angered me. I'm not sure that
really,
made
really
me
angered me. It's made me very angry. Very, very,
very
angry.
angry. Okay.
So I was on point to get 15 points on... Was this Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was Saturday afternoon, and I didn't get as cocky as what I normally do, to be fair.
No.
I downplayed it. I was quite excited, but I downplayed it a lot because late goals this season has screwed me over from so many prediction points. It's actually a joke. So I think it was going to be 15-6 at one point, or 15-7.
Something like that, yeah. It was.
Yeah.
I think it might have even been. I thought it was about 15-4. I thought it was an absolute.
It might have even been that, yeah. And it ended 7-0.
There was some late
It
goals.
ended 7-0. I was absolutely livid. Brentford
some
screwed
late
me over,
goals.
scoring their third.
Yeah.
Wolves screwed me over, scoring their second.
I
Luton
got 3
screwed me
points for
over,
that.
scoring their second.
Yeah.
Newcastle and Palace, that was fine. Man United screwed me over because they didn't score a third, which they should have.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. Absolutely
And
ridiculous.
then yesterday I got the Tottenham one bang on,
Yeah, you did.
which led me to go on a bit of a rant on the text at you. But you hadn't read them, and I felt a bit harsh, so I deleted it all.
Yeah, I saw there was 8 deleted messages. There was just a couple left that just said, I got the Tottenham score right. Just so mild.
Okay, so where should we start for the Premier League? Should we go to the early kick-off, the United?
Merseyside
It was
derby.
Liverpool game, wasn't it? Sorry.
Yeah. I say United was an early kick-off.
Oh, no, sorry, that was the later one, wasn't it? Sorry, I got mistaken. I apologise to you and the listeners.
No, that's very okay. That's quite okay, sir.
The Scousers, then, what do you make of that monstrosity?
Yeah, I think both of them should have had a red card.
Mate,
Kanate should have been
What?
sent off.
I don't know how Kanate stayed on the pitch.
Nor do I. Nor
I
does
just-
Klopp, because Klopp subbed him very quickly.
Very quick.
Very
30
quickly.
seconds after. And then Sean Dyche is like, are you fucking kidding?
Yeah.
And then he gets a yellow card.
Mate, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Ashley Young definitely deserved to be sent off, though.
Mate, 100%, yeah.
I don't know
They
what he
were
was
both-
doing with that second. That was just ridiculous. That was wild.
It was so stupid that I just it just felt stupid. It was a ridiculous decision, and the same with Konate. You know, it was similar to Kovacic last week, week before last with the City game. Why are they doing that? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, do they just lose their head? Because I certainly remember, you know, the dizzying heights that I reached. If there are, well, mainly because that's you've got to find actual money, and you're like, yeah, I paid a tenner for fucking get a card.
Yeah,
But you know,
sometimes.
you would be careful. So yeah, I don't understand that. I thought Klopp played it well. You know, he got away with one, took Konate straight off, and then went and won the game. But what do you make of those pens? Because there was one in the Arsenal game as well, where your hand sort of goes into almost a natural position. I think the Saliba one for me was a little bit more of a natural position than the it was Keane, wasn't it? I think for Everton, where his arms out, like, it's almost like you know when you defend in the corner, you do kind of go up with your arms to sort
Yeah,
of
I think.
tell yourself up.
Yeah, I was about to say you use your arms to almost like spring. You don't spring yourself obviously off your arms, but you get that little bit more oomph,
Yeah.
and it's just the movement. I think it's difficult. It's like the rulings now, they are pens, and I get why they're a penalty, but realistically, they shouldn't be a penalty. You cannot jump with your arms by your side, otherwise it's not competitive in the air anymore. So literally the only people that will get the ball are Haaland and Dan Burn. So they're like 8'4".
Yeah.
They're the only people that will be able to head a ball from that height. Or Ronaldo, 'cause he's the only person who can jump like ridiculously high. So it's,
Yeah.
I get it. I do sort of see why. I can see why they're working, but it's pointless.
Yeah,
It's just
I agree.
ridiculous, and it's another stupid rule that they've implemented over the last couple of seasons
yeah,
that is ruining the sport for me.
yeah. I get that.
I'm assuming you share the same point then. same viewpoint. Sorry.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, I agree.
Cool. Moving on then, shall we?
Yes, so let's move on to the Bournemouth Wolves game. What a moment for Jones. Like he said, it's not all about me, it's about the result. It was all about him. He went to Bournemouth, who sacked him, arguably unfairly.
Who are you talking about? Who's Jones?
Sorry, O'Neill.
Oh, right, okay. I was wondering.
Who is Jones?
I've no idea. Nathan Jones, maybe?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, this is Gary O'Neill.
Gary O'Neill, yeah. So, yeah, anyway, he's done really well, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think it was almost written, wasn't it? Got rid of him and he saved them. Unfairly, I think we both agreed at the end of last season as well, when it was all announced and stuff. It was like, what the hell is that all about? He's got the Wolves job under a bit weird circumstances, but he's got the Wolves job and he's doing all right now. They seem to be playing the way he wants to play, picking up some results now.
Yeah.
Good on him.
Yeah,
good 2-1 win.
On the other hand, Iraola, he must be thinking, I think they've got Burnley next game, so he must be thinking, if I don't win that, I could be out of a job.
Yeah, because he's not done particularly well so far. I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, I don't think you could say anything else, Ben.
Have they got a win yet? Is it just one win?
No, they haven't won yet, mate.
Oh, they haven't.
They're winless. They're winless in the league. Yeah.
Yeah, that's off. See you later, mate. Scott Parker was sacked last season for losing one heavy defeat, but I think he'd won a game before that. And Parker was sacked, so
he had
on the fence.
He had a really tough run in as well, didn't he? If I remember rightly, he was playing like the big sort of six, losing.
Yeah, I think he had Arsenal, Chelsea, and City, didn't he?
Yeah, I think it was.
And then lost to Liverpool. I think that's what it was.
And Iraola has just done. He's not played. No team in England is easy, but he's not. Yeah, he's just not played like. He's not played anyone that Scott Parker had. If we're comparing, those two situations. So yeah, it just strikes me as very odd, Ben. Very odd.
It is a very odd. I mean, the appointment was very odd. So.
Yeah, it was strange. So
we'll see. I think he'll be his first manager to go, though.
I think you are probably right, although I could see Higginbottom also going.
I don't know. I don't think they will. I think just because of what he's done for them, I think they'll still give him until probably like February, March time and see where they're at. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the stats show you that you set your manager, it doesn't necessarily change anything really. I think if you look at last season, the teams who stuck with their managers survived.
They did, yeah. Yeah, and that was a bit of a blueprint then, isn't it?
Bournemouth being the example there. They stuck with Jones, as he's now known. Yeah. Brentford beat Burnley 3-0, pretty standard win, wasn't it? I don't think there was anything really you could sort of argue with that. I think Burnley are just really off the boil, can't seem to score, can't seem to defend. So
yeah, they need to sort it out. They need to click.
Got a big job to do, I think, as well for him. Thinking about that managerial race for the first one to be sacked, he's up there, and he's got Bournemouth next game. He must be thinking, I can get that. Although they have won a game, haven't they? Burnley, they beat Luton.
Yeah, and that was quite a convincing win as well. So I don't think Company's under pressure yet. I think because everyone knows Burnley are in that transition anyway. He's played some incredible football last season. He wants to stick to his guns this season to try and get that going. He's not got a massive squad either. So I think it's a case of let's just see how they go, because there's quite a lot of young players in that team as well now.
Yeah.
So I don't know, personally I don't think he's under that much pressure. I think they know how difficult it is. If they can get 17th, they'll be loving life come the end of the season. But it's a very long season still.
Well, you could say it's a season for a reason, really.
Oh, it's a season for a reason. Like that.
Arguably. Manchester City did Brighton over 2-1.
Yeah. Got that one spot on, didn't I?
You did. They weren't at their best though, City. Doku looked really good. Haaland was quiet for Haaland, but he still had. I mean, I don't know if you was aware, but Haaland can hit a ball, mate.
He can. He's got ridiculous power.
It's unbelievable. Right.
Yeah, sorry, it was just a load of. It's just the rain's outside. It's just making lots of noise. It put me off.
Oh, is it raining? Oh no. Yeah, so he can hit a ball.
Yeah, he can. He's got just insane shot power. It's a joke. But yeah, Man City though 2-1, red card as well, but they still got the 3 points. They got the longest unbeaten run at home.
They have. 21 games. I think they've just done United
21 games. Yeah.
Newcastle had a good game. 4-0 win at Palace. No, not at Palace. Against Palace.
I was surprised at this one. I did not see it being that many goals. You did.
See it.
You saw it being more goals.
I saw it being more goals, but I didn't expect 4-0. I think what surprised me about it was that down that right hand side with Longstaff, Murphy, and Trippier. I mean, Trippier has absolutely transformed that team. He is unbelievable, Jeff. Quality, absolutely quality game. They done really, really well.
Yeah, I didn't expect Palace to just collapse as much as they did there. I thought they'd put
just
on a
off
bit of a
the
show.
boil.
They've done well.
Yeah.
You know, they've had a really good start to the season. Putting off some sort of decent 0-0s and 1-0 wins and things like that, but scraping the wins. I thought they'd scrape a draw.
I agree with you, Ben. I couldn't agree with you more, mate.
But yeah, and then Arsenal-Chelsea.
Some controversial there again, similar to the Liverpool game. Like I said to you, I think it's unfair. It was unfair for Saliba to have that penalty against him, but it is the rules, so that's what it is. What did you think of the conversation between Palmer and Sterling to take the pen?
I think it is ballsy for Palmer to say, I'm taking it against Sterling. Obviously, experienced international player who's won so many trophies. But I think the most interesting part of that was the fact that Enzo Fernandez came along and said, no, Cole Palmer's taking it.
Yeah.
He's not captain.
No, it was interested, and Sterling walked off a bit pissed off, but luckily it was written, wasn't it, for Palmer to miss, but he did bury it.
Do you know what annoys me about Palmer though is whenever he plays Arsenal he scores.
Yeah.
He scored a banger against us in the Community Shield.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
When he was still at City at the time. He scored against us last season, which was a banging volley as well, if I remember rightly. And now he scored a penalty. It's just like, you just piss off.
What do you think? Do you think Mudryk meant that?
Yeah, 100%. He knew.
Do you think?
Yeah,
so,
I think he knew what he was doing.
I wasn't sure, but then when you listen to Gary Lineker and Alan Shearer, who know a thing or two about scoring, they said, no, he didn't mean that. He never meant that. He didn't look at the goal once. That's what they said. So.
Oh, I've missed that. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was convinced. Yeah, I was convinced he meant that. So I think he's full of confidence. He scored that wicked goal midweek in internationals as well, didn't he?
I wasn't sure. I don't know if he meant it. And then listening to those two, I thought, he doesn't mean it. I thought Raya was poor, especially in that first half. I don't know. I mean, I know Ramsdale wasn't available for selection, but I don't know. You know, it's rumoured that he's in the team for the Sevilla game.
I think he should be. Raya's the last two games.
No, Raya is in the team. Raya is in goal for the Sevilla game.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, so that is it is ridiculous. I don't think he should be in, but he is. But then again, Sanchez equally is disappointing. He did not have a good game.
He didn't. Declan Rice's hit though.
Like, what a goal that was!
What a goal!
And then the thing for me, the thing that really ruined the game for me, being an Arsenal fan as I am, was the fact that Sanchez flattened Gabby Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
I actually called him Jesus then.
It's a bit rude.
Yeah, I know. Gabby Jesus. He was just it just took him out. His Sanchez's hip hit Jesus' head. God, that was hard to say.
Yeah, you really struggled with that one, didn't you? Yeah, you proper struggled.
So yeah, I didn't. I thought that was a nailed-on pen. Don't know how they got away with that. Don't know why there wasn't any intervention from Mary VAR. So I get a bit pissed off with it. But the good thing was for me, Man United, dog shit at the minute.
They are. They still got 3 points though.
They did against Sheffield United, who are arguably favourites to get the lowest ever score points tally.
Yeah,
the Premier League has ever seen.
I mean, as I said, they still got the 3 points, but they should be beating Sheffield United. Even if it's at Sheffield United, they should still be beating them 3, 4, 5, shouldn't they?
Yeah, sure, they should. They should. The Villa West Ham game was a bit of a shock for me. Villa were on fire, but so were West Ham.
Yeah, I didn't see a 4-1. I thought it was going to be a tight, edgy 0-0.
Absolutely.
How wrong I was. I need 5 goals off.
Yeah, absolute drubbing from them. I was very surprised.
I heard an Aston Villa fan saying on TalkSport, I think it was, that they're title contenders. I'm like, come on, guys, give over. Come on.
I don't know. Title contenders sounds a bit far-fetched, but
far-fetched. That's a polite way of saying fucking crazy.
I think the way they have been playing, they are fighting for a 4th place finish.
See, I don't think 4th. I think they're fighting for that 5th Champions League spot if we can get it in the English League. There's 5 up for grabs potentially, so I think they could be fighting for that 5th spot.
Yeah, of course, because the Champions League format changes next season, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So I can see them potentially getting that, but I don't think top 4. I think top 4 is going to be Arsenal, City, Liverpool, Newcastle.
You don't think Tottenham will stay?
No, I think they'll drop off. Well, they could get that 5th spot potentially. But yeah, I'm not too sure. Not too sure yet. I think they're having an incredible run, which moves on quite nicely. You know, they won 2-0 yesterday evening, or Monday evening against Fulham. I think you got that spot on, judging from the 47 messages you sent me overnight. Like they're playing some good football. They're playing with confidence now as well. They've got a different shape, different system. A couple of different players have just massively changed it for them. Whether they'll be up there come the end of the season, I don't know. But also talking to Gav, who's obviously a massive Spurs fan the weekend, he was just enjoying watching football again, which I'm sure probably echoes a lot of Tottenham fans at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, certainly does. Yeah, it was an interesting result. I think you predicted a 3-1, and I don't really know where you thought that the Fulham were going to get a goal. I can't see where Fulham get their goals from this season. I genuinely can't.
No, I thought Jimenez might get one, or like coming in from a corner and might just like bounced off someone. You can always get a sneaky goal from time to time like that, and I just thought that would be the time. A bit of a London derby. You normally up your games a little bit, don't you, in London derbies anyway?
Yeah.
So I kind of thought there'd be something there. I thought Tottenham would still have too much for them. I was right with the 2 goal difference, just not the right numbers.
Yeah, an interesting one, isn't it? They have Vinicius up front. Willian can score. Iwobi can score. David Reed can score, but they're just not.
No.
That I think is the problem, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, compared to this time last season when they were flying,
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's hard to say. I didn't think they'd be as bad as what they have been so far, but as we said earlier, it's called a season for a reason.
Certainly is, my man. Certainly is. So we're going to change it up a little bit, aren't we? Now we had a bit of a conversation last week where we kind of said that what we'd do is we'd alternate between. So we'd do WSL 1 week with maybe a bit of MLS when the season starts again, and then the Saudi League, and then we'll do the Euro roundup, and we'll alternate weeks.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea because we have got a larger listener base now over in the US, which is great. So we like to give you guys a little something back. That's what we do on the FDP. We give and we give and we give a bit more.
I think it would be interesting as well to, you know, for our non-US listeners to actually see what's going on in the MLS. We've got some big names over there at the minute, namely Messi. I meant to say actually, a little bit late, but did you see Neymar got injured?
Yes, I did. They reckon it's
That was
career
really
threatening.
Well, it's his ACL, isn't it? And I really do feel for him. He was obviously really upset, as you could well imagine. Felt bad. Anyway, I hope he recovers well. But let's move on to the WSL. So let's go back to last weekend. So we'll start with Saturday. We had the Chelsea-West Ham game. Chelsea won 2-0. Man United dropped. I would say they probably felt like they dropped some points with a 1-1 draw at Leicester. Manchester City thrashed Bristol City 5-0. Arsenal, come on you Gunners, they beat Aston Villa 2-1. 2 late goals there, that was on telly, I don't know if you saw it. But
on that one, I'm still waiting for you to let me know if you want to go to the game.
Oh really?
Yeah, I sent it about 3 weeks ago. And you said, oh yeah, I'll let you know later.
Okay.
So I'm assuming it's a no at this point.
Yeah, no, I think I'm ill on that day.
Ah, shame. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, sorry about that. Brighton lost at home to Spurs 3-1. Liverpool lost at home to Everton 1-0.
That was a surprise.
It was a surprise, that one. Tottenham beat Villa this weekend 4-2 away from home. Villa have dropped down the pecking order a little bit there. City beat Leicester 1-0 away from home. Manchester United beat Everton 5-0 away from home. Chelsea 4-2 winners against Brighton this weekend. On Sunday, West Ham drew with Liverpool and Arsenal won away at Bristol City 2-1.
Excellent. Come on, you Gunners.
Yeah, so it's an interesting time at the minute in that league because Manchester City and Chelsea are absolutely storming it. Not far behind are Tottenham, Man United, and Leicester as well. I don't know if there's any 4 games played, but it's quite tight in the league. Arsenal sitting in 7th. I think Bristol City are probably odds on to be relegated. They haven't won a game yet, but neither has Aston Villa.
That's surprising. That is surprising. Villa are actually quite a good team.
Yeah, they are, yeah.
Just things are just not clicking, clearly.
No, not quite, mate. Not quite. So should we go to what's it called? The Saudi League.
Yeah, mate. Let's go.
Al Hilal beat Al Khalij 1-0. Al Fatah beat Abha 4-1. Al Tawan drew with Al Ittihad 1-1. Al Akdud lost at home to Al Fire 2-1. That was the Friday fixtures. Saturday fixtures, Al Shabab beat Al Tai 2-0. Al Ali 3-1 against Al Wada. Everyone saw that one coming. Al Nasir beat Damak 2-1. Al Hazim beat Al Raid 4-3 in an absolute banging game. And Al Riyadh shock winners at Al Ittifaq 1-0.
I think that game as well, that last one, I think there was 600 and something fans that attended. That's shocking, isn't it? Ninth tier, Bury had 3,000 fans at the weekend.
It is amazing. Yeah, it is. Yeah, let's. You make of that what you will.
Yeah. We won't put
Al-Hilal-
anything in your head.
Yes. Al-Hilal at top of the table, not lost a game. Al Tawon are second place, Al Nassr in third, and Al Ali in fourth. Then you've got at the bottom Al Reed, Al Hazim, and Al Tai from bottom to 16th place.
Christ. There we go.
Right.
Any other leagues that we want to cover this week?
Well, this week, no, we're going to the
MLS
European Roundup
starts
next week.
year.
February, isn't it? It's bad.
Yeah.
Messi is staying put. He's not going to be going on loan anywhere else. He's staying where he is. So, interesting. Let's see what happens in January. Whether there's any sort of people moving over to the MLS or, we'll wait and see.
Be interesting.
Could be, Benjamin. Could
There we go.
be.
It's a bit of a
Well, we'll
shorter
have to see you.
episode this week. Short, sharp, snappy. That's what we like here. Yes, a
'Cause we
pleasure,
like-
mate, as always.
Need to head off, brush our teeth, have a shower.
Yes, we do. Have a lovely day, and I'll speak to you later. Bye, mate.
Thanks, mate.